All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Michigan beats Minnesota 49-24. Let's talk about it. And this game was competitive for a minute, and then it just escalated really quick. Michigan got the ball first, went down. They gave the ball to number 8, the freshman. Fast, he went down there, and 42, the fullback, got a penalty, personal foul. That pushed us back. I think they blocked our punt, and they got it. They advanced it. Then they scored a touchdown. And then Michigan, from that point on, they just turned on the turbo boosters. I mean, Charbonnet is just the best back in their backfield. I love the Hassan guy. I'd love to see Chris Evans come back after being dismissed last year, but Charbonnet is the guy. And he wasn't even healthy last year, and he did an amazing job along with Hassan in the backfield. And, Joe Milton looked pretty good. Joe Milton kind of got Stafford issue. He likes to throw everything hot. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes him throwing the ball hard and not putting that touch of that loft on it, he has some inaccuracies, with his throwing. But that don't really concern me. He threw for 225, 1 TD. Florida boy playing in the cold. But, his arm strength is impressive. His athleticism, his stature is impressive. You can see why he won the job. And they just got to teach him how to really put touch on the ball and not really throw the ball hard all the time. But Ronnie Bell caught like 4 or 5 catches for 74 yards. And, to talk about the offense, they did good. You know what I'm saying? Number 8, they got him from somewhere. He was explosive. Charbonnet, Hassan and Haskins, he scored 2 touchdowns. Chris Evans, he did a little bit. But overall, Joe Milton looked good. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to have that dual threat with his arm and with his feet. He just going to get better and better. That's what you got to hope. This is his first actual game starting, I believe. And it's going to take baby steps with him. And he got to develop some of these younger receivers. But as far as, Michigan on the offensive side, love the running back by committee, but, Zach Charbonnet got to get the lion's share of carries. He the most physical, and he the most athletic back they got. And I just think he might go down as a Michigan all-time great if they keep trending in the right direction. And, Michigan really been business today. Jim Harbaugh wasn't throwing the ball and, joking around. He knew how critical this All-Big Ten schedule is for him in Michigan. But, only donkey today was the fullback, but he made up. He scored a touchdown. His first touchdown was from, Milton's first touchdown was to the fullback, and they ran it in twice. And, at some point, I'm going to talk about the defense. They sacked Minnesota quarterback, and, they ran it back, a fumble back to the house. It was just an impressive performance, from both sides of the ball. And, you got to look at Joe Milton, and hopefully he takes another step next week. But the one play I didn't like from Josh Gaddis, they got down there in field goal position early in the game. And they run that shotgun sweep. Don't do that again. When you get in the red zone, you got 1 or 2 yards to go north and south. Unless you're doing an option, some of that nature. So that's my only criticism of Gaddis when he called that the game was still in reach for Minnesota. He called that running back sweep, and Charbonnet or whoever it was, I think it was Charbonnet, got stuck out. Go north and south when you get in the red zone or you get close to the end zone. That was my only thing about it. As far as Milton, he compromised his accuracy trying to throw hard. So he gotta learn to take some stank off the ball. But Ronnie Bell, he looked good tonight. Charbonnet looked good. Haskins looked good. I think the Michigan offense going to go a long way. And we don't know how good Minnesota was. Minnesota was phenomenal last year. And obviously Antoine Winfield Sr., he left and he went, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we don't know how good Minnesota was this year. And Minnesota they basically couldn't, what if they weren't prepared? What if they go on and run the table and have a good season? They could. And it's very, very good to see that Jim Harbaugh has players prepared. There's so many teams you see around the country playing that, they probably took a bad loss because they didn't prepare the right way, in spring or, this new layover to, Big Ten play. So Harbaugh had his boys ready to play tonight. And people got to give credit where credit is due. He know how serious and how important this college season is. And, they did an excellent job, on the offensive side of the ball. Only thing I can ask for, personally, is to run the ball more north and south. But, let's see some options to wishbone with Joe Milton. But Harbaugh wasn't the issue tonight. He called a clean game. Michigan played mostly a clean game. And, got to look at Harbaugh and say, what? What happened to Michigan State could have easily happened to Michigan tonight if they wasn't prepared. And Harbaugh had them prepared. Offensive, defense. Don Brown, talk about his defense. Phenomenal job again. We already know he evil Matt Patricia. He gonna blitz. He not gonna just play prevent defense. Don Brown is willing to put everybody in the box and leave his corners one-on-one. And I just think he need to play more zone. I think he need to play zone, do zone blitzes, and give his safety some help with a robber or single high or something. It's hard for your safety to sit out on these islands by themselves with these wide hashes too. So only thing I like about Don Brown is that he don't know when to call the dogs off, and he don't know when to switch it up. From blitzing to zone blitzing to playing man or playing prevent or playing softer defense. He don't believe in being no break. He believe in breaking the offense. But tonight, Michigan front seven played well. They executed his blitz package to a T. Daxton Hill looked good tonight, playing multiple positions. But Don Brown got to kind of show some things where they play some Tampa 2, regular cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, 2-man under, single high, robber. They got to just switch up. Some teams are really going to be able to take shots and hit the receiver in the stride. So Don Brown got to show, and Michigan defense got to show that they can bail out of those blitz packages and confuse quarterbacks. But can't be mad at the defense. People say they gave up too many points. They gave up 24 points in 4 quarters. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. And they did a superior coach team tonight. And, with Don Brown, I mean, he is what he is. He going to continue to do what he do in blitz, but he need to kind of, give some coverage in the back end every now and again. But they was phenomenal tonight. And 23 for Michigan, he was making tackles and being in the backfield, causing sacks. Don Brown, he got exotic defense, man. But overall, tonight, we going to see how good Minnesota is moving forward. The kicker missed like 2 punts. Special teams, something that Harbaugh got to clean up. So that's the only part of the game that wasn't, or part or position or side of the game that wasn't clean special teams. But, overall, the defense played well. Everybody played well. Thinking about, all this time to prepare, you would probably think Harbaugh wouldn't have this Michigan Wolverine football team ready. And he did. This was a big game. He hadn't won a road game, I think they said versus a ranked opponent, ever. So outside of Michigan State or whatever it was, on the road. So, he got that monkey off his back. And then we move on to the next week. Indiana upsetted Penn State today. Penn State played Ohio State. Ohio State, they struggled with Nebraska a little bit today, but they pulled it out. But Michigan always got the talent. You get a grade A education at Michigan, It's just that Harbaugh got to be able to utilize that talent in a good way. But Josh Gaddis called a great game today. He looked very comfortable with Joe Milton. They just got to get Milton to put touch on the ball and not to throw it at 100 miles an hour because he has a humongous arm. But this is a guy who threw the football out of the Michigan Big House Stadium. So when you got a big arm, he going to want to flex it. But he got mobility. He big. He strong. And he single-handedly can turn this program around. He can. But tonight, he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't throw any picks, so that's good. He played the clean game. It's just about developing the young receivers. And also, the run defense was a little leaky tonight. You can't have that going up against Ohio State and Penn State. And if you hope to get to Alabama and teams of that nature, they got to play better against the run. They running back had, 20 carries for 140. I don't care if it was in real time or garbage time. You got to be able to wrap up, and get him on the ground better than that. But the offensive line would look better last year, and now we can see, this is the first Jim Harbaugh recruited quarterback that Harbaugh has put out there as a starter. Remember, Wilton Spate was recruited by somebody else, or, not Wilton Spate, was it, might have been him. Whoever it wasn't his quarterback. So this is his first actual quarterback that he recruited that's going to start out there. So, and that did start. So I pretty much look forward to, Milton doing this thing in the future. We seen what happened to Michigan State tonight or this afternoon. They got beat by Rutgers. That was a shocker. And Mel Tucker, he probably didn't have enough time to get comfortable. Remember, he turned the job down and then he took it. So Michigan State is going to be a slow rebuild. He just didn't have those guys ready. Remember, the majority of those guys that's in the Michigan State locker room, they're not Mel Tucker guys. So it is what it is. They got beat up. Michigan won today. Now, I can't remember who they play next week, but we'll be talking about it. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Michigan wins 49-24 over Minnesota at Minnesota. So that was a huge road win for them. Let's move on to the next week. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. All my social media links are in the description. If you ever got a video request or want to chop it up, links there. Twitter's the fastest way, then Facebook, then IG. Want to make a donation to the channel. Best way to do so is share the videos. Best way to help me out. Cash App, the CJ Good 313. PayPal link is there as well too if you want to make a financial donation. And other than that, man, just keep sharing the videos. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, and don't forget to check out my other channel out for more sports, music, news, and entertainment right here on YouTube. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. One time for the one time we go.